Welcome back to another episode of Hot Takes brought to you by the Thunderpick World Championship. And we have a returning face here today. Patrick is going to be talking all things Dota 2 with us. How are you doing, Patrick?
Doing great. Been enjoying the Esports World Cup Dota 2 tournament, which happens to be our topic for today. So yeah, excited to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems absolutely kind of wild to me that we're now saying Dota 2 at the Esports World Cup. Riyadh Masters is just a better title, man. We talked about this.
You're telling me. I mean, I don't know why they decided to change it. I think some of the casters have basically given up and started calling it Riyadh Masters anyway. If it's not the casters, it's the community, which is way more understandable.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a goofy name, but what can you do?
That's it. I mean, if this was an upgraded name and they just tried to call it like Dota is the best MOBA, then I'd be like, okay, sure, yeah, but Dota 2 at the
100%.
Esports World Cup? Like, that's too many syllables, man. This is who I don't know who their PR guy is, but they need to work on
Yeah.
that. But I guess the quality of the tournament has actually been much better than the quality of the name. Let's talk about this format first of all. This is a group stage and an elimination phase, and then we get into playoffs. This isn't something that we super see in Dota a lot. How are you finding it?
Yeah, so the whole skipping the next phase thing if you win your group is very reminiscent of what Blast Slam has been doing. Just a
Mhm.
little less extreme because the seeding goes if you win the group, like I said, you skip the elimination phase, and then the three teams below that will have to fight it out in the elimination phase. Uh, I kind of like this better than what Blast is doing, although you know Blast's unique format has its place. I've
Yeah.
said that before. This one is pretty okay with me. It remains to be seen. Well, we'll see tomorrow when the playoffs start. If the extended period of rest here will affect any of the results, because it's always it's the eternal debate whether you want to keep your momentum going by just playing over and over, um, not take too long of a break, or if you really want that rest so you can just watch the remaining teams or the teams that have to fight for their tournament lives, and then you can kind of study them from there. We'll have to see, but I think as far as the presentation goes, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think exactly the same. Like in the experience that I have talking to players, like some of them prefer to just keep going. They'd rather start from day one and play till finals day, and some would just prefer a rest. I don't know which camp I'd fall into, probably the rest one, but I also think that's because I'm in my 30s and I just can't play Dota like I used to anymore.
Same here. But yeah, it's 3 days of rest though, which is quite a long time.
Mm,
The elimination phase ended on the 12th, and I believe it started like 2 days before. So anyone that won their group has had to wait like 5 days, just to play again. So it's a bit different this time. I'm more used to seeing rest periods of only 1 or 2 days. So
yeah.
yeah, like I said, we'll have to see if this changes anything.
Yeah, which will be interesting because I guess if we're going to look at the teams that have made it through to the playoffs here, there is absolutely not even one surprise here. Like, what did we
No,
think would happen? Exactly what has happened. And this is the way it kind of goes at this level of Dota. But it's interesting to see that even teams that they started out quite well. Navi got second in their group, then they got eliminated. Um, yeah, it would be nice to see someone else coming up through the ranks, but
this
Dota
is
is ever predictable at this point.
yeah, this is not the tournament for that. It
Yep.
seems. But at least even with the predictable results so far, we are in an era of pretty much unprecedented parity. At least at the top level, any of these 8 teams can win.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think about because within the last 2 or 3 years, it was all just either Game In or Falcons dominating everything during the pre TI tournaments, and then somebody else takes TI.
Yep.
So I think this current era is really entertaining to watch. Unless you're the team you're rooting for isn't here, because it's unlikely that they'll ever break into the top six or top four unless you're a Spirit, you're a Paravision, you're a Team Liquid, etc.
Yeah, yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, the team that I like to watch has not even been to a tier 1 tournament. I couldn't even tell you the last time. I couldn't even tell you who plays for them anymore. Like, who
Yeah,
plays for OG, man? I got no idea. I
they're
don't think I
just
can call myself a fan.
it's understandable. I mean, they're just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. Uh, Nothing has lately, but maybe the seventh time's the charm. But anyway, they're not here. They're not here in this tournament right now.
Yeah, which is exactly it. I guess I can completely understand why on stream all of the casters were sort of talking about Falcons and being like, are they going to be able to go the whole way? It really just felt like kind of a cope for me at this point. I think I would be surprised to see Falcons win this tournament, especially since they're facing Liquid in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, no. I still am not fully convinced that Falcons are back in form, although they have been improving as the days have gone by.
Hmm.
They got third in their group with a not so great record of two wins, sorry, and four losses. So they had to start from the first round of the gauntlet bracket. That's the elimination phase.
Hmm.
They swept both of their series, but the first one was against the eventually 0-8 Virtus Pro, and then Navi after that. So no
Yep.
surprises there.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I don't want to call it an easy run. That feels like it would negate the effort that especially Navi are putting in. But of the other gauntlets that the other teams had to run, this is probably the one I would have picked to get through, you know?
yeah, same here. I mean, for gaming gladiators, they only had to face Team Yandex, which I personally ranked like at the very bottom of the power rankings. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, if there was any other, you know, like you said, gauntlet part of the gauntlet bracket that I had to place myself in, it would be the one with VP in it because they were 0-6 before they even got there.
Yeah, which is, I don't know. It's not often that you see a team bomb out of a tournament with not even a single map win.
Yeah.
And, you know, these are not unheard of players. You know, they got VTune, they got Lauren. These are really talented Dota players, and I'm very curious to hear what you think happened. Like, what made them fall apart so badly?
Actually, I think when I listened to the post match interview involving the Hawk, I believe he was talking to Nomad at the time. He seemed kind of resigned to the idea that it just is what it is with them. They do have the talent, like you said. Laurenoff used to play for Aurora, so he's been here before. VTune, he was a stand-in for Liquid just like two tournaments ago, if I'm not mistaken, with
Yeah,
D League
ESL
season
won
26.
Rally, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have that they have that department covered. It's just that it might not have worked out for them chemistry. Um, I remember the Hawks saying that um, it might not even have mattered if they randomed all five heroes in each draft that they went through, drafting phase that they went through. The way they were playing, they just weren't going to beat anyone. So
Yeah.
he went on to say like, okay, we're gonna take a break here. Maybe hit the gym while we're still here, and then we'll gather the team members and then talk about our future. You don't really hear that often. The part where he says talk about the future like explicitly. So I'm not
Mm.
sure that this roster is long for this world for within the next month or so. Yeah, I just don't think that that they've clicked in the way that what they would have hoped.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think Lorinoff only joined at the end of May. So, I guess we could make some excuses like it takes time to find synergy, like you need to be able to
Yeah, of
work,
course.
particularly if he's fulfilling a carry role, then you have to be able to play around your carry strategy. And if that hasn't happened, then so be it. But it just seems to me that doesn't happen so fast, usually. Like
Yeah,
it's been a month.
yeah. It takes a while, especially in Dota because you kind of just have to go through the ups and downs when you can, rather than
Mm.
let's say something more structured like League, where they have seasons of a franchise like structure.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but that's what I'm getting from the existence of LCK, LCS, that kind of stuff.
I'm not the girl
Here
to
in
ask, I'm
Dota,
afraid.
I, but here in Dota, you have to qualify for the big ticket tournaments. So if you don't even get that opportunity to cut your teeth at the top level, you may not even see the light of day in that sense.
Mm,
So since it's a double whammy thing, it takes time to gel with a new roster, and you might not even get the chance because you have to go through all the qualifiers first.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And as we say, when if for me, it feels like there is a bit of a disconnect at the moment between the top 8 teams and the bottom 8 teams. And
Yeah, for sure.
a lot of the time you do get this sort of crossover where teams are moving up and down, but the top 8 teams are just so consistent. We just saw the exact same thing in Counter-Strike, and it really took quite a long time for that to change. And I don't know that we're going to see any sort of change before like the likes of TI come round. But I don't know. I'd like to see something a little bit more unpredictable going into the next season.
Maybe a big patch before TI might change that. You know, for now, this
Yep.
is what we'll get.
Give the people what they want, Gabe. Give us Academ's Labyrinth.
Yes, God, it's been too long.
My God. Okay. Yeah, so we do want to talk a little bit about TI before we end today, I guess. But first up, we've got some quarterfinals predictions that I want us to talk about because, as we said, pretty much any team could take this event. Pretty much.
Yeah,
Um, and I honestly think these predictions are really hard to call. So the
they are
first one,
actually.
we've got Spirit and Gaming Gladiators. And if you'd asked me this question 6 months ago, I would have been like, Spirit are going to walk this. Like, no problem at
Yeah.
all. But
Uh,
Gladiators, I don't know, they're not back to their, 2023 Berlin sort of dominance, but it's not bad. They've really bounced back from Celery leaving, I think.
yeah, I have to commend them. Honestly, they've really taken everything that's happened in stride. Celery leaving a few months ago, as you mentioned, must have been a big hit because he was, if I'm not mistaken, the team captain. So they had
Yep.
to when Malady came in, they had to adjust how the shot calling might have gone. The drafting as well. So kudos to them for finding ways to integrate the new players in.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're doing much better than they were 6 months ago. So even though according to the stats, Spirit have dog walked them basically for the entire year.
Yep.
I think it might be different this time. If it's not a complete sweep going Spirit's way, it's
Hmm.
probably going to be 2-1 in favor of Game in my opinion.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess we can lock that in because if I'm looking at, the sort of the most contested heroes that we've got at this tournament so far. We've got Puck, we've got Shadow Fiend, Monkey King, Shadow Shaman, Queen of Pain. Mm, I don't know that. I don't know if I'm just going to eat my words here, but off the top of my head, none of these heroes are being like, oh, yeah, that's a Yatoro hero, or like, that's a Quinn hero. I mean, I guess Queen of Pain, Puck as well for Quinn, but
Yeah.
it's interesting to see how the meta and like the patch is affecting the outcomes here.
Yeah, for this matchup in particular, I think yeah, it's Queen of Pain and Puck, like you said, for Quinn.
Hmm.
Then the rest is like, we'll just pick whatever we feel fits our draft, and uh, we're professionals. We'll find a way to, make it work.
Yep.
Yeah, you mentioned Yatoro as well. Terror Blade is more of a support and an offlaner now. I
Yep.
mean, it's Yatoro. He'll always get a chance to play position one Terror Blade, but with for the meta of the Esports World Cup in particular, maybe we won't see him do that too often.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have virtually no concerns at all about Yotoro's hero pool. Like it's absolutely enormous,
Hero
like,
Ocean.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So maybe we'll get to see him pull out a carry Doom. We've seen Tundra do it a few times, so it'd be very
Oh yeah,
interesting.
yeah. He's probably gonna give that at least one try.
Hmm.
Carry Doom is bonkers, by the way. I've tried it in
Oh,
pubs.
really?
Yeah, it's really strong because like you buy Midas as you normally would on Doom, but because you're selling items at 85% of their original cost instead of 50%. What you can do now is you can sell the Midas when you've got enough gold to cover one component for radiance. So, for example, you've um, got Midas, and then you've used a few charges. You've now got the Sacred Relic. You sell the Midas. You buy the Talisman of Evasion, so that builds radiance for you. You farm stacks and you buy Midas again because
Oh.
the way Midas works now, right, is that it has two charges,
Uh-huh.
and every time you buy a new one, it starts with one charge. It doesn't start wherever the cooldown was before you sold it.
Hmm.
So you just keep doing that over and over until you get all your core items. And then if you need to switch builds later on, if let's say the game goes really late, like 50 minutes, 60 minutes, it's so easy to change builds because you just sell all your now useless items, and you can immediately build whatever you need right at that moment because you get so much of it back, right?
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
the 20% the 20% additional tax on buyback costs doesn't even matter at that point because
Hmm.
if you switch to the right build, you just run the other team over. And yeah, that's why everyone's been playing in position one. There's still you still see position three every now and then, but position one is just way better because you hit your item timings faster.
Ah,
So
that's so
Yatoro,
interesting.
hope we see him play position one Doom.
Yeah, yeah. This is the kind of galaxy brain play that like my position five little shadow shaman ass, we're not getting close to this kind of stuff. You know what I'm just like,
But hey, your hero
woo,
is really
shadow
popular
shaman's
right now.
meta.
God, so annoying to kill.
See, I always have a soft spot for Shadow Shaman because the first game I ever played of Dota, I played Shadow Shaman, and then I played him for like my first 50 games, and I just didn't even try another hero because I was like, yes,
Wow.
I can stun things. Woo!
I help my team.
Exactly. I can just, run up to the tower, drop my little snakes, run away
Run
again.
away. Yep. Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah, it required very, very little skill for my I came from League of Legends, like I played League of Legends for like 2 years and then I quit that and I started playing Dota. So my skill level needed to like fucking hockey stick to get me in
That
there.
that's actually really interesting. I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
How did that even come to be? Like Dota's supposedly a harder game. So if you didn't like League, then what like kind of gravitated you towards Dota?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting question and not something that people who like MOBAs often ask me. So when I started playing um League, it was back sort of 2015 and I didn't really enjoy playing Summoner's Rift just because I find League really static. And the one thing that I love about Dota is like if you fall behind, you can always come back. Somehow there is a
That's true.
way back into the game. And I just never I mean, I was never good at League of Legends, let me preface this by
Okay.
saying that, but I always felt like there was never like you fall behind and you stay behind and then you lose the game. So I played a lot of ARAM and that was better, but I just didn't really like it. And I think I'd made the absolutely vital error of having a username on League that made it obvious I was a woman. And
Oh, okay.
oh boy, that was an error, let me tell you. Um, so then I have a bunch of friends who play Dota. I moved over to Dota. I have a gender neutral username.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, and it's just so much more complicated in a way that I really enjoy. Like, I love like the high ground rules, which took me fucking ages to get the hang of because that isn't a thing in League.
Yeah,
But I find it more complex. I find it more enjoyable because of that. Yeah, I guess that's why. So if anyone is interested in that, play Dota.
absolutely. Well, welcome to the right side of the debate. I'm just kidding.
That's exactly it. I feel like Lee and Davide and Ethan are they're gonna watch this and I'm gonna get some really annoyed messages.
Okay. Anyway,
That's it,
yeah,
yes. Back on topic. Next up we have
yep,
Aurora and Paravision or P-Vision.
yeah. So apparently they're called that just for this tournament in particular because uh, parry the phrase or the word parry is to gamble in Russian. So it's Saudi Arabia, and that's a big no-no there.
Yep.
So it would seem. So they had to change their name temporarily to P Vision. Sounds goofy, just like the new name of the tournament, but uh, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean this
Uh,
is just BB team all over again, isn't it? Like it's
yes, exactly.
yeah. It's not ideal,
So
but hey.
whatever. They're still probably gonna win the tournament. If whether they're called Paravision or P Vision, because my God, this team is so strong.
Yeah.
Think the only other squad that could possibly put a stop to them is Liquid because um, who was it that mentioned this? It was Saberlight that mentioned that since Fissure Universe episode 5, so maybe about 2 to 3 weeks before EWC started, they were 5-0 against Paravision, and then when they swept them in their group stage series here at EWC, they're now 7-0. So that's pretty insane to think about. Thankfully, they're on opposite ends of the bracket right now, so if they're ever going to face each other, it's in the grand finals, which that will be great for everyone involved.
Mhm.
But for this one, for this quarterfinal series, Paravision versus Aurora, so it's another Eastern European derby.
Mhm.
I I'm not too sure that Aurora will stand a chance here. They've
Yeah.
been improving a lot lately, kind of like Gaimin, but Paravision are just on a different tier. They're uh, if there was a tier list where it's like S, A, B, I'd put only Liquid and Paravision on S. So that's how good they are.
Yep, yep.
Uh, It'll probably be a 2-0, and unfortunately, it is. We should mention this that the playoffs are single elimination, so
Yes.
there's no second chances. There is a third place match though, which is nice, but you have to get that far to even get another match in. So
Hmm.
for this one, not too confident in Aurora. Parry will probably run away with it.
Yeah, I completely agree as well. I'm still in the camp of like, I don't know, this time last year though, it would be like, who? You know? And then they
Yeah,
just sort of
exactly.
rocked up at Bangkok, won everything, and then just kept on winning after that. Which
They
feels
got even better.
Yeah, exactly. Which feels crazy to say when we're talking about them in a matchup against a team which has people like Mira, you know, who
Yeah,
I
and,
consider
and
to be in the top 3 best support players in the game. I love him. He's so good.
oh, for sure, yeah. And it's like they also kicked someone in the middle of the season and then brought in someone who's even better. Like we
Yeah.
didn't know this at the time. Crystallis was more of a known quantity, I think. But then they shipped him off and then brought in Satanic, and now Satanic is the best carry in the world. Like,
Yeah.
how did it only take what 4 or 5 months for that to happen? This kid is insane, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we don't really see prodigies that often in Dota. It's so hard to stay on top for like any length of time that you could even be considered like that good. Probably really haven't seen this since, like, as we say, the likes of Yotaro. But Satanic is just on a different level. Like, it's
Yeah,
honestly insane the things this guy can do. Like, so impressive.
he's so good. Like, he's far and away the best member of this team, and
Hmm.
that's even taking into account, the presence of someone like Nine Class, who
Hmm.
breaks manages to break the meta every time I see him. And then, of course, the veteran No One
Yep.
has had a really, really good career renaissance as of late.
Hmm.
Happy to see him back at the top level. Like I said, think he's going to win another ESL event, which
Yeah.
the EWC is. They've been destroying the ESL Pro Tour this year. So
Mhm.
yeah, I still have them number one, Liquid a close number two.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I think I would be inclined to agree. I would love to see Liquid just hit this form again as they go into defending their TI title, but I just also don't want them to peak before TI. You have
Yeah,
to go
we
into
don't want.
TI at your peak, and I'm hoping that's what Liquid are going to do because, a double TI win is rare in Dota, and to do it consecutively would be the second ever time. So that would be brilliant. But yeah, okay, right. Let's think about Betboom and Tundra then, because this is probably the closest matchup out of, I mean, all of them are close,
Yeah,
but Betboom and
I agree.
Tundra, I just can't call this one. Like,
Yeah, it's because both of these teams are at the top of their game right now. I say Tundra is a little less so because uh, I mean they put in the same record as Aurora, so they I think by Neustadtel score or something like that, they had to take second place instead of first. But
mm,
yeah, their form as of late has been very 50-50, but I still think that they have enough talent to just say fuck it, we're gonna be who we are.
yeah,
um Betboom have the edge in that sense where they were more recently in a grand final. I think it was Dream League, right? They
yeah,
won
yeah,
Dream
I
League
think so.
season 26. Let me pull that up real quick. Wikipedia says, I don't know, it was Wallachia that they won. And then
Yes,
before that,
okay,
they were second at Dream League season 26. Yeah, that's correct.
okay.
So I'm giving the edge to Bet Boom, as I said, but it will probably be a very hard fought 3 game series because uh, Tundra probably still have the sheer talent advantage. It's just
Mm.
that Bet Boom are more in gear right now.
Yeah, yeah, I could completely agree, to be honest. Like, I'm a big fan of Tundra, like just the players as individuals. I think, 33 is unparalleled. He deserves all of the accolades that he gets. And the same can be said for Saxa. I think he's done it astonishingly well the last couple of years. Like, really happy to see it. But yeah, I think I would be happy to see Bet Boom because I don't know, mm, am I going to call this a hot take? Probably not. It's not that much. But I think the way that I see Betboom playing is if you tilt them in the first game, if something even kind of small happens and it tilts them, that's it. They will lose the series. They just could not recover mentally. Um, but that seems to have improved in the last year or so, and that's really good to see because it was a huge weakness for them.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it still kind of was at the start of this season, but
Mhm.
they seem to have figured out how to not just tilt themselves or let the other team tilt them off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
It nearly happened again at Fissure, I think, or was it? No. It was at this group stage, and I'm pretty sure it was against Falcons. Let me see. We were just talking about this in Discord several days ago. Here,
Yep.
Bet Boom. Yeah, it was against Falcons. They nearly threw away the second game of that 2 game series with some classic Bet Boom mistakes, but they kept it together, and so that allowed them to escape with the 2-0. So they seem to have, like we said, improved on that.
Mhm.
I'm not super worried about that aspect of their game as much anymore. So
Yep.
for this series, I think that notion will prevail. That
Mhm.
they'll still have to go through 3 games, but they won't just throw away one of them.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, which, would be really good to see because it's a shame when you're so talented as a team and then something as basic as your mental just stops you from reaching that top
Yeah,
level. So,
probably doesn't feel good.
no, I would imagine not. Okay, so last up, Liquid and Falcons. I think I think this is just Liquid, as we said. Like I just think they're in a better form than Falcons right now.
Yeah, no argument there. 5-1 in the group stage. They've had all this time to rest and study their competition. Falcons, they're I at least think they're not gonna take a 2-0 loss lying down because they are in front of their benefactors here. They probably don't want to get chewed out by the very people that pay them
Mhm.
because the tournament is in Saudi Arabia. So they're gonna try their best. I don't think it'll be enough though.
No, I
There's
don't think Liquid are gonna walk this, but I don't think they're gonna lose either.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I'm looking at it. They're just too good right now, and
Mhm.
uh, they seem to have learned a lot from having to take on 2 different stand-ins over the last month.
Mhm.
Um, it's funny to say now because when they took on Toby, I think they actually got better, but Insania's back, and I still think that um, you know the time that he's been with this exact roster still counts for more than what Toby might have brought to the table when he subbed in for them
Yeah.
just a while ago. So the fact that they've had to deal with that doesn't really matter to me anymore,
Yep, yep.
as they've shown anyway since the tournament started. They're in really good form.
Mhm.
Uh, can't really say the same for Falcons as much. Uh, that there's just something about them when it comes to the game to game moments where they seem like they're overthinking things. We know what they're capable of because they won basically everything last year. Uh, just fell short of TI.
Yeah.
But this time something is off. I'm not really too sure what it is, but yeah. When it comes to this series, Liquid 2-1 is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that because I guess we don't really need to consider it now that Liquid are playing with their full roster, but I also just think we have to give a little bit of love to Boxy, who is my favorite support player in the entirety of Dota 2. I absolutely adore Boxy. I think his play style, like, I don't know, if I was laning with Boxy, if for some possible reason I loaded into a pub and Boxy was supporting me, I'd be like, I've already won the game, man.
Yeah,
You know? I actually
for
don't
sure.
need to
Yeah,
do anything. I just need to hit creeps and then I'll win the game because Boxy is that good. So when VTube was standing in for Mickey, it was like they're fine because they have Boxy supporting them. And then when they didn't have Insania, I was like, they're fine because they still have Boxy supporting them. And this time it's gonna happen with the full roster. So yeah, Boxy could win this single handedly.
yeah, I agree. He's such a dynamic player.
Yep,
Does whatever you need him to. Whether that's playing the greedy four or being completely sacrificial doesn't matter.
yep.
He's just so good.
That's it, because I think the one takeaway that I've had from like talking to Dota players over the years is that the way that you stay on top in Dota is like your ability to adapt. And, you know, we all find that one style of Dota that really fits us. And, then we just stick with that for years and years and years and wonder why we're just tanking MMR. But
Yeah,
Liquid are so much more adaptable. And I think that's why they're successful. So.
and it's important for Dota in particular because my God, we get a new game every 6 months.
Yeah, in the middle
It's
of a fucking dream league every time.
yeah, it doesn't matter whether you're in the middle of a tournament or it's the summer break or whatever the hell it might be.
Yep,
Ice Frog will do Ice Frog things, and if you don't keep up, you're gonna get left behind.
yep.
Uh, it's another actually, I think I this is what just what I know. I'm not sure if it still applies today, but I think that's one more big difference between Dota and League, where
Mm.
I think some league champions are still more or less the exact same as they were years and years ago, but
Ah,
even the map in Dota is nothing what it used to be like even just 2 years ago. It's
yep.
bigger now, so yeah, it's
Yes,
it's
and it
ever
took me
changing.
exactly. It took me at least a year to stop playing the map as if it was still really small. I just didn't even
Yeah,
fucking bother with the extra lanes. I was like, no, I don't. I'll go and get my little wisdom rune, and then I'm done. So,
yeah, but you just can't ignore it anymore. It's so hard to chase cores around the map, especially because
yeah.
there's so much space to farm,
Hmm.
extra jungle camps. Yeah, Dota's
Absolutely.
Dota's fun.
It's a lot of fun. And I don't know, this sort of segues us kind of nicely into the last thing we wanted to talk about, which is maybe a TI battle pass or an event or
Oh
something,
boy.
you know?
Yeah, so I tried to avoid talking about this for the longest time because I knew I was gonna set myself up for disappointment, but I'm still not sure that we're gonna get a battle pass for TI.
Yeah,
Because there's only 2 months to go. Actually, less than because if I'm not mistaken, it starts
the
September
4th of
9th.
September. Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
4th. So that's
yeah,
way less than way fewer days than I thought there would be. There probably isn't enough time to put one out now. So if anything else, it's gonna have to be an event,
yep.
which I think is even harder to do with the time remaining. So if they hadn't already started working on it months ago, I don't know what we're gonna get. Probably just the compendium as usual.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's it, because I know they said that they weren't gonna do battle passes anymore, and I think all of us have just been like, "Sure, Jan," and kind of thought that they would just bring it back. Um, and also, I guess off the back of Crownfall, like Crownfall was a much bigger and much more successful event than I think anybody really expected at first.
yes,
Um,
even myself, like I normally don't go through the events myself.
mm,
I just play,
yep.
but even I had to give it some notice. It was that good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really set the standard now.
Yes.
So I don't know. I know that they've said like they want to make the year less TI centric. They want to have more regular like in-games events and stuff, and I get that. We've also only had one. Yes, it was huge. It went on for ages. It was brilliant. It was still only one. We need something for TI. Like if TI is ever going to hold a candle prize pool wise to the Esports World Cup, or even, we're never going to get back to 2021, I don't think. But
No.
if they want to, then a battle pass, an event, something is just vital. They have to.
Yeah, and like personally, I don't even need it to hit 40 million like it did before.
Yeah, no.
Uh, it just needs to be worth more than the Esports World Cup, I think.
Yeah.
For the record, the EWC is 3 million,
Yep.
so that's not even difficult to beat at all. Like if you just put in an event, doesn't even have to be a battle pass.
Mhm.
Um, we all don't like FOMO tactics, I'm sure, but it's TI. I think if they were ever going to put limited edition cosmetics or whatever
Mhm.
during the year, it should just at least be for that.
Yeah, I think TI is it holds like a really interesting place in terms of prestige, where it's not even super about the money a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Um, like people would, I think at this point, I think teams would still rather win TI than Esports World Cup.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and I don't want Dota to lose that. Like TI is, yes, it's the biggest event in Dota. It was one of the biggest events in esports, and I just don't want it to lose that. Like I loved that. Like TI is what got me into Dota. I just randomly went round and I watched it one day and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to make my whole life about this game." You know?
Yeah. It's a little sad that it's not as important as it used to be. Uh, Prize pool wise, at least, like you said, it still does feel like teams want to win that over anything else on the calendar, which is great because
Yeah.
there's nothing quite like it. The atmosphere is different. Teams will try their absolute hardest, even if they won't win as much money as with any other event. They pull out all the stops,
Yep.
and it's always magical. So if we can get you know maybe like a $10 million prize pool, even somewhat less than that,
Mhm.
I'm all for it. But uh, yeah, for Valve in particular, I don't know if they're ever going to go back to it because they don't really need to.
Yeah.
Nobody is telling them over there to get off their asses and make a battle pass. They made Crownfall, so I'll give them that. But they might have had way more fun doing that than just getting another round of artists to do cosmetics for a battle pass. So who knows uh, what TI will look like in the future? But you're right. I don't want the prestige to ever go away.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, it's just a different time.
That's exactly it. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of feelings about the Esports World Cup, and where I think that I do like that the Esports World Cup does shine a light on the smaller games as well. just, for the top 4 tier 1 titles, I just don't want that to be the biggest event in the calendar,
Yeah,
and I
same
don't
here.
think I'm alone thinking that, yeah.
Absolutely not. You don't get all the threads on our Dota 2 saying TI is not what it used to be without people wanting it to be what it used to be. So
Yeah.
people still love it. It will all. I think it will forever be the crown jewel, no matter how small or big the prize pool will get
Yep.
for it and for other tournaments. So yeah, Valve, please, let's do something.
Exactly, we beg.
Yeah, we pray.
Well, I think that about wraps up our time for this episode of Hot Takes. So, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. If you have made it this far, you can let us know what you thought of our quarterfinal predictions. And I guess we'll find out in the next couple of days whether Patrick's going to keep his job or not. So,
Please. Oh God.
okay, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. And we will see you next time.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
I was told to add some music here, but they didn't tell me what kind of song. So I'm just gonna sing. Make sure you like and subscribe.